Good morning, students. Today I am going to take up the next topic of agriculture chapter, that is importance of agriculture in Indian economy. This question may be asked as why agriculture is called the mainstay of Indian economy, or why agriculture is called the backbone of Indian economy. And the answer remains the same. Students, first of all, we have to understand almost 67% people in India are directly or indirectly dependent on agriculture. Farmers are directly dependent, and the agro-based industrial people, they are indirectly dependent on agriculture sector. Agriculture sector provides the raw material to the agro-based industries. We exchange some of the agricultural products, or we export agricultural products to other countries, so it earns foreign exchange for us, and it contributes 29% to the GDP. It is the mainstay of Indian economy because the share in providing employment by the agriculture sector is almost 63% according to Census 2001. It provides food, no doubt, to the growing population, which is the most important aspect of Indian agriculture. Now we start with the main topic of the chapter, which is the major food crops of India. Students, in this particular part, we'll deal with the different crops which are grown in India, and the main points that you have to learn about these crops, it includes, number one, the geographical conditions for the cultivation of crops. As you can see in this slide, that temperature, rainfall and soil is discussed. So these are the geographical conditions for the cultivation of crop. And then the areas we have to understand, where are these crops grown, and for that you have to do the map work as well. I'll suggest if you write these crops in table form, it will be easier for you to understand and learn these crops. I'll start with rice first. The temperature required for the cultivation of rice at the sowing time is 16 to 20 degrees Celsius, whereas for at the ripening stage, slightly higher temperature is required, that is 18 to 32 degrees Celsius. It is a water, naturally requires more water, so it requires at least 150 to 300 centimeters of annual rainfall, but irrigation facilities are compulsory for the cultivation of rice. Rice can be best grown in alluvial soils which have clayey subsoils and retain the water for a longer duration. The main areas where rice is grown is Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Assam and Maharashtra. And students, you are also supposed to do the picture-based study. You must be able to identify the plant. As you can see, the rice plant is heavy, the seed part is heavy, so it bends downwards. This map shows the main and the minor areas which are growing rice in India. Here we first have Tamil Nadu, where rainfall is around 100 centimeters. Okay. If we start from North India, we find Punjab, Haryana, UP, Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, parts of Karnataka, Maharashtra and Assam are the major cultivators of rice in India. Students, please do this map work in your notebooks. You have to do it on a outline map and paste the map on the notebook. Next crop we have wheat. Wheat is a crop which can be grown in slightly lower temperature and lower rainfall regions as compared to rice. And wheat and rice, please remember, are the two major crops of India. Rice is the staple crop of India. Okay. So For wheat cultivation, at the time of growing stage, we require 10 to 15 degrees Celsius temperature, whereas at the time of ripening, 25 to 28 degrees Celsius temperature is required. It requires a rainfall ranging between 50 to 100 centimeters, slightly lower than the one required for rice cultivation. And it requires a well-drained soil which has heavy texture with lime. Well-drained means the water does not stagnate, it passes through the soil. And it grows well in alluvial soils as well as black soils. Please remember, you have to learn the names of the soils where they are grown. This is the wheat plant. As I told you, in case of rice, the seed part is bending down, but in case of wheat, it remains straight, so you can easily identify it. The major production is done in Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab. And important point about wheat cultivation is that we are 4th largest producers of wheat in the world. This map shows the main areas cultivating wheat. As you can see, Punjab, Haryana, even parts of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, parts of Rajasthan, UP and Madhya Pradesh, parts of Gujarat and the Maharashtra are cultivating wheat. Again, I request you people to do it on a separate map and paste it in the notebook. Next we start with the millets. Millets means the coarser grains. Okay, the temperatures are high in the areas where the coarser grains are grown, ranging between 27 to 32 degrees Celsius. It survives high temperatures and even the semi-dry conditions, drought conditions. The rainfall between 50 to 120 centimeters is received in these areas, but it does not require very heavy rainfall. And they are grown in the soils which are not suitable for the cultivation of rice. Comparatively, less fertile soils are also okay for the cultivation of millets. The main millets that are there in your syllabus are jowar, ragi and bajra. We start with jowar first, which is a rain-fed crop grown in the moist areas. And children, you may be asked the largest producers of these crops. So please remember, Maharashtra is the largest producer of jowar in India and is followed by Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. This is the jowar plant and the seed. It slightly resembles the maize. Then comes bajra, which grows well on sandy soils and the shallow black soils as well. Rajasthan is the largest producer of bajra, followed by Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. Third, we have the ragi crop, which is grown in dry regions and grows well on the red, black, sandy, loamy as well as shallow black soils. This is the bajra plant. Ragi, seeds and the roti made from ragi. The main areas where ragi is grown includes Karnataka, which is the largest producer, followed by Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, that is Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jharkhand, Arunachal Pradesh. Next we take up maize crop. Maize, again grown in semi-dry areas where rice cannot be grown and the temperatures are slightly higher. 21 to 27 degrees Celsius temperature is required for the cultivation of maize, but it cannot stand frost conditions in any stage. The rainfall between 50 to 100 centimeters is required and sunshine promotes the growth. Cool dry conditions are necessary at the time of ripening of the maize crop. And it requires nitrogen rich loamy soil for its cultivation. This is the maize plant and the seed part of it. The main areas cultivating maize are Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh. And cool and dry conditions are required for their growth. Next we start with pulses. Students, we have to remember that pulses are very important part of our diet because they supplement proteins to us, and at the same time they are leguminous plants, so they supply nitrogen to the soil. So they are very important, and different pulses are grown in different parts of the country. Like North India is more famous for the cultivation of the urad dal, that is kali dal you call it, whereas South India is more important for the cultivation of the tur dal, arhar dal, which is used for making of sambar. For the cultivation of pulses, in general 20 to 30 degrees temperature is required. Rainfall between 50 to 75 centimeters is okay for it, and dry light soils are required for the cultivation of pulses. Main areas well known for the cultivation of pulses includes Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Karnataka. And I have already explained that they are leguminous plants and help in nitrogen fixation in the soils, and they are source of proteins to the humans. So children, you in the growing stage require more protein diet, so you must consume lots of pulses. These plants help in restoring the fertility of the soil by fixing the nitrogen. Next we start with the commercial crops grown in India, that is sugarcane first. Sugarcane requires a temperature between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius and rainfall between 75 to 150 centimeters. And well-drained alluvial soils as well as black soils are suitable for the cultivation of sugarcane. The main areas of sugarcane cultivation are Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Haryana. And this crop remains in the field for more than one season. That is why it requires regular manuring and fertilizers. This is sugarcane plant. These are the main areas cultivating sugarcane in India. As you can see, in North India we have Punjab, Haryana, UP, okay, and in peninsular part we can see Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and in the eastern coastal part we can see Andhra Pradesh also cultivates sugarcane. Students, please copy this map. Please don't take a printout. Please do it manually on an outline map and paste it in your notebooks. The sugarcane plant regrows itself. That is why it gives two crops by sowing it once. Okay students, next we start with the oil seeds. Children, we all know that oil seeds are used for making of the edible oils which are used in cooking. So they are very important for us, very important part of Indian meals especially. We are the largest producer of oil seeds in the world. Oil seeds, they cover approximately 12% area of the cropped region of India. The main oil seeds which are grown in India, that you can see: groundnut, mustard, coconut, sesame, soybean, castor seed, cottonseed, linseed and the sunflower. And as you can see the names, different types of oil seeds are grown in different parts of the country. This map, you need not copy this. This is just for your information. Coconut growing regions of India, it includes Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal, some parts of Tripura, Meghalaya as well as Assam. Then we have rye. Now, these oil seeds are used for cooking. I have already discussed with you, but along with that they are also used for making of soaps, cosmetics and ointments. The oily part of the ointment is actually the oil used in it. So we start with the first, that is groundnut, which is a kharif crop and accounts for almost half of the oil seeds produced in the country. It is produced in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat and Maharashtra. This map is showing groundnut producing states of India. Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Odisha. Again, not to be done in the notebook, just for your information. This is rapeseed plant as well as the seed and rapeseed growing areas. You can see Jammu and Kashmir, parts of Himachal, Punjab, Haryana, UP, Rajasthan, Gujarat, some parts of Madhya Pradesh and West Bengal. Linseed and mustard are rabi crops and sesamum is a kharif crop in North India but a rabi crop in South India. Castor seed is both rabi as well as a kharif crop grown in India. This map shows the soybean growing areas of the country. You can see central parts of India and it includes Gujarat, parts of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Karnataka, along with Uttarakhand, some parts of UP, some parts of West Bengal and Sikkim. This is linseed plant and the seed, the cultivation. Okay, students, next we are discussing the beverage crops. All of you know what beverages are. Tea and coffee are the two main beverage crops grown in India. And all of you are aware that tea cultivation is done in Himachal also. So the temperature and rainfall conditions, they can be easily understood. 13 to 25 degrees Celsius temperature is required and rainfall between 150 to 250 centimeters is required. But student, one important part that you have to understand, the rainfall should not be confined to only 4 months in a year. It should be well distributed throughout the year. Only then the tea cultivation can be done. The soil for this tea cultivation is deep and fertile, well-drained soil. It should be rich in humus and organic matter with little iron, and it should have a porous subsoil because the rainfall continues for the whole year. Okay, so porous subsoil so that the water drains out of the soil. It does not stagnate, leading to the spoiling of the plant. This is tea plantation and the tea plant. Children, many of you might not be knowing this top portion of the tea plant, which is called the bud, is the best quality tea. The second leaf that is open is the second grade tea and the third leaf is the lowest grade tea. That means the grading is done on the basis of the growth of the plant. Only these parts are used for the making of tea. The tea bushes, they require hot and moist frost-free climate throughout the year. And frequent showers, as I said, the rainfall should be well distributed throughout the year. It requires abundant and cheap and skilled labor because the tea plucking is done manually. It is a labor-intensive activity. Main areas growing tea in India includes Assam Hills, West Bengal, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Andhra Pradesh, Meghalaya, Tripura, Nilgiri, Annamalai Hills in South Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Tea plantation is shown here. You can see the areas growing tea. First we start with the northeastern parts, that is Assam and parts of West Bengal, and in South India we have Karnataka, parts of Kerala and Tamil Nadu as well, which grow tea and coffee. Tea is grown mainly in Tamil Nadu and some parts of Karnataka. And Himachal and Uttarakhand are also growing, which is not shown on this map because we are not the major producers of this crop. Next we have coffee plantations. They require a temperature between 18 to 28 degrees Celsius, rainfall between 125 to 200 centimeters, and they require loamy soils with humus on well-drained hills, and red and laterite soils are used for the cultivation of coffee in India. The main areas growing coffee includes Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. These are the coffee plantations. Here you can see coffee seeds are there which are used for making of coffee. Thank you very much. We'll take up fiber crops in the next video.